Okay, so the second question Laplace had is, what is the probability that the sun will rise on day n plus 1, given that the sun has risen for the past n days? So, what is the probability that sun rises on day n plus 1? So I'm just going to stick in day n plus 1, given that event E has happened. And event E, remember, is the event that the sun rose on the past n days. So if we go back to our original probability space, then we had the event E here, which was the event that the sun rose on the first n days. And now what we're doing is we're doing conditional probability on the set E. So here we go, here is the set E, so we've just removed it from here and got rid of all of this bit, and we're going to work this out using the law of total probability. So what is the probability that the sun rises on day n plus 1? Well, what we can do, given that E occurs, what we can do is we can split this up, we can partition it up using the random variable p. So remember, the random variable p is going to ascribe to every single outcome the probability parameter of that outcome, for that outcome, which was the probability parameter telling you what's the probability that the sun is going to rise on any given day. So we're going to split this set up into those little events here. And basically we'll get, by the law of total probability, that this is the integral over all possible values that p can take on of the conditional PDF, for p, given that E occurs, which is what we have just calculated. We just calculated that the conditional PDF of the value of p, given that E occurs, is equal to n plus 1 times x to the n, I think it was. Let me just check. Where did I put this? N plus 1 x to the n. That's perfect, yes. And basically what we're going to have to then do is times it by the probability that the sun rises tomorrow. Sun rises on day n plus 1, given that the parameter little p is equal to that value x dx. So what is the probability that the sun rises on the next day, given that the probability that the sun rises on any day is equal to x? Well, that is just x. So we end up integrating from 0 to 1, n plus 1, x to the n plus 1, because we get x to the n times xn, dx, and this is equal to n plus 1 times the antiderivative of this, which is x to the n plus 2, evaluated between 0 and 1, which is just going to give us n plus 1, divided by n plus 2, sorry. The antiderivative is x to the n plus 2 divided by n plus 2, which is just going to give us n plus 1 over n plus 2. And that is Laplace's law of succession there, that as the number of days go on, the probability that the sun is going to come up the next day gets more and more likely. So if you make n 100, the probability is getting very close to 1 that the sun is going to rise on the 101th day. Okay, so that's all for now.